Shalom, shalom. Here is finished blanket number 1. I will give you the measurements for it. It's got tassels just on the corners. And that is finished blanket number 1. Okay, y'all, I'm trying outside here, see if we get a little better lighting. This is blanket number 1. I wanted it to look kind of mosaic, kind of, sort of. So what I did is I made 3 small granny squares and then put them together and then granny squared around it. And my notes say that this blanket number 1 is 67 by 43. It has been washed. It's got the 4-inch tassels. Okay, I used a 9mm crochet hook. I used, just a second, let me put that down. This is all I've got left of the Gala yarn. For some reason, the Gala yarn is this one here. For some reason, there was some of it that just wasn't dyed, so I had to cut that out. So that's all I've got left of the Gala. And then here is the Canadian yarn, and that's all I've got left of the Canadian yarn. And my notes, where's my notes again? Here is the Gala. I bought it at Big Lots for $1 a skein. And I don't know where that Gala's made. And here's the other one. It is Triumph Phentex. It's made in Canada. And see my notes again. I used 7 skeins of the Gala. Now that may be wrong. It's a poly acrylic. There may have been 8 skeins of that. And I used 10 skeins of the Canadian, which is a worsted number 4 acrylic yarn. And that is blanket number 1. Here's finished blanket number 2. I will put the measurements in the description. Well, I'll tell you the measurements. And this is kind of just a lap throw. This is blanket number 2, or at least that's what I'm calling it, blanket number 2. It is a true lap throw. It is a lap throw. It is scruffy roughy. It measures 34 by 39, so it's almost totally square. And what I did was I had this homespun yarn. And, well, you know how homespun, it's not always, it doesn't always come in a great big skein. So I had, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 skeins of it. And I knew it wasn't going to go very far. So I took this plain green acrylic yarn. I mean, this is a nothing acrylic yarn. And I held it double and used a 9mm crochet hook. And this is all the yarn of that homespun that I have left. This is for me to sit when I'm watching TV and I'm drinking a nice hot cup of coffee on a cold winter night. It has been washed and I have not fixed the little shreds. That's what it's for. Cover my knees when I just need something to keep me warm. And that's what it's going to do, y'all. It's really very nice and very thick. And I like it, but it's just an odd, raggedy old rag blanket. there's that one. Let's see what's next. Okay, here is finished shawl number 1. It's just a rectangle shawl. Well, it's a granny square rectangle shawl. And it's finished. Okay, this is my granny square shawl, and y'all might remember this. I was making a Crescent shawl out of this, whatever it is, because it ain't yarn. And I decided to make a granny shawl out of it. Now, I really like it. The camera is not doing it justice. But the wingspan is 60 inches. And then the length, the center spine, is 30 inches. And it is screaming to be blocked. I have no way of blocking it. So I don't know what I'm going to do exactly. I used a size H or 8 5mm crochet hook, and this is all the yarn I've got left. And like I said, y'all, this ain't yarn. I don't know what it is, but it ain't yarn. But I love it. It's so soft and so flowy and so drapey. But like I said, I don't know what I'm going to do because I got no place to block it. And I normally don't block stuff anyway. In fact, I can't remember the last thing I blocked. But that's my granny square shawl, and I just love it. It's very clingy. It's a very clingy yarn. I have no idea what it is, but like I said, it ain't yarn. It's just a second. Let me see if I can get the edge of it here. Look at that. It ain't yarn. It's some kind of thread, but it sure is nice, and I really do like it. So I got another shawl. Here's another finished shawl. And no, you are seeing correct. This is a rounded bottom. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's the design. And that shawl is finished. Okay, this is my last finished object. This is, first off, these are the needles I used. And my needle gauge is upstairs. I have no idea. I think it's a 10 or 11. This is just a knitted triangle shawl. Just a second, let me get my notes. This is all the yarn that I've got left. And it measures 64. It has a wingspan of 64 inches. And the spine is 29 inches or thereabouts. And what I used is, this is 100% cotton yarn. But this was an antique yarn I bought. It is from Scott's Woolen Mill. It's 100% cotton. It's corn flour. Of course, it's got the dye lot and everything on there. But it's made in Uxbridge, Massachusetts, and it says hand wash. I had 3 skeins of it, and so I thought, what better than a triangle shawl, because then doesn't matter, you know, if you run out of yarn, you run out of yarn, you're finished with your shawl. Now I have washed it, but I do need to go back and put all the little threads through, and this is just, incredible. Incredibly soft. This does not, if the label had not said cotton yarn, I would have never thought it was cotton yarn. It's another one screaming to be blocked, but I've got no way to block it. Now, before I leave, right here, I'm going to insert where I was at another computer, and I have a whip that I want to show you. So I'm going to insert that right here. Okay, here is my work in progress shawl. This is a crescent shaped shawl. Now, I'm not sure what size needles these are. I think they're 10s or 8s. let me tell you how, this is not, I'm sure I wasn't the first one to come up with this. It's a crescent shaped shawl, and you know how many crescent shaped shawls, you start it with a garter tab. Well, it just wasn't coming out. I mean, I know how to do a garter tab, but I just couldn't get something to work. So what I did was I cast on 7 stitches, and then knit 2, and then turned my work. Then knit 2, knit front, yarn over, knit back, knitted to the last 2 stitches, yarn over, knit to the end. And then I turn my work and I do the same thing over again. So I knit 2, knit front and back, knit front, yarn over, knit back, knit to the last 2, yarn over, knit to the end. And because I do that, I don't have to use stitch markers, because I do the exact same thing on every row. And this yarn is, let me get it out here. It's a very pretty yarn. It's not showing true to color here on the camera, I guess because my lighting. But it has it's a gray yarn with a kind of a pinky color to it. But this is Yarn Bee Chloe, I believe is how you pronounce it. I got it it was $5.99 a skein, and I got it for $1.49, marked down at Hobby Lobby, 3.5 ounce skein. It is 70% wool and 30% viscose, I think is how you say that. And I'm just going to use the entire ball and make a skein. And make a shawl, a crescent shaped shawl. But then I got to thinking, well, gosh, maybe that won't be big enough. So I went looking through my stash and I found this yarn here. And I'm not satisfied with this yarn at all. I don't know what exactly I'm going to do with it. But it just didn't match this yarn. And I found this yarn here. Now this is, the label's kind of hard to read. It's Patton's Lacette. It's a 2, and it is 39% nylon, 35% acrylic, and 25% mohair. Well, I don't mix mohair and wool. I'll mix wool with wool, and I'll mix mohair with mohair, and I don't mix cotton with I don't mix my natural fibers. And so what I'm going to do is I got these needles picked out, and I believe these are 10s. So I'm going to do the same thing, make the same kind of shawl with this yarn. I might go a little bit bigger on the needle size so it'll be more lacy. But that is my whip right here, and hopefully my next project. And I'm just really loving this. This yarn is so soft, y'all. Ooh, it's soft. Nice. And it's coming out very good. But like I said, I cast on 7, turn my work, knit 2, knit front, yarn over, knit back, knit to the last 2, yarn over, knit to the end, turn my work, and repeat. And it's coming out very well. So that's with my whips. My shawl whip. Okay, so that is all my objects, y'all. This is it. I've been a busy bee, and I hope you liked it. So, thank you for watching. Thank you for visiting my channel. Shalom, shalom. Bye-bye.